Hey Stampers, it's the Pampered Stamper, and I was asked to show you how I made this vintage card. So I'm gladly sharing, just please don't use this as your swap card for the Alaskan cruise, as that is what I'm going to do, and it might be slightly embarrassing if we have the same card. But other than that, please feel free to case and do whatever I ever share. It's all there for you to use. Okay, so I started with a piece of white, and I'm going to show you a trick with that. So I have found a way to cut, well, I'm sure it's like someone else has found this way too, but you can get 5 pieces, 5 card fronts if you measure 3 5/8. And I also cut 2 pieces at a time because Whisper White is a bit of a princess and likes to, it complains the most when we have a dull blade. So 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Okay. So actually now I'm getting 10 card fronts at a time. Efficiency, ladies and gentlemen. And now sometimes it's good to go back and forth because I'm doing 2 at a time. So now here you'll go 4 7/8. See, it's a hair. No, it's exactly. So I don't even have to trim that one. So now we go 3 5/8. And I'm sure I'm doing them all. And I should, no, it's good. It's good. Sorry, I'm talking to myself a lot today. And here we go. So on this last one, you'll see there's just a tiny little piece that comes off, but that's the only waste. So that is really good. So now we have our white piece. And the color that I used for this, I only used one color, and it is Blueberry Bushel, which is our new one. And the stamp set I'm using is called Very Vintage. So when the stamp is bigger, just leave it on the block like that and ink up like this. Now, normally I do trim my stamps. You can see there's a little line of ink around the edge. I don't like that. But I don't have the sticker on, so I haven't trimmed. So I'm stamping the first one, leaving a little bit of white space. And then I'm not re-inking, and I'm just going off here. And that's where I get the lighter. See, it's lighter there? Okay, now I'll ink up again. And we'll go over here. And then in here. And then if you want to, you can just go a little bit, like so. It's even lighter. Okay, and that's how you get a collage look. Then with vintage stamping, I like to sponge my edges, okay? And you can cut a sponge into at least 6 or 8 pieces. This one's a little bigger than what I would like. It's also very old. Our sponges are amazing. They last a long time. Now, I do have a bit of a line here, which I'm not crazy about. But with collage stamping, you'd be surprised. The lace, the doily's going to go over that, so don't stress about that. So that's looking good. Then I have a little white strip. You know, when you trim your cards, you have these extra strips. Just put them in a baggie and keep them, because they do come in handy. I mean, unless you have a small mountain, then maybe throw a few away. So now I've taken that little stamp, and it just, see, that was this one. And then we're also going to sponge the edges of that. So this one is 3 5/8 by about a 1/2 inch. Okay. The next piece is the circle, and we're going to stamp the 4U, which I have lost. I'm going to run to my desk and grab that. This is how I get to eat whatever I want by misplacing things. Okay, so I have it here. And I'm punching that out with a 1 1/4, and you can see I've got a very old punch. Old things are good as long as they are still working. And that's why your hobby doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Okay, and now this is kind of clever. So here is my blue piece, the Blueberry Bushel, and it is 5 inches by 3 3/4. But I need a punch. Now I should do a few of these so I have some for the next bunch of cards or for another project. Because you see, this is going underneath of this, and then you won't see that. How clever is that? Okay, so we're going to put this aside, and now I have a doily. These are our pearlized doilies, and I'm going to sponge the smooth side because it won't stick well to the pearlized part. So just lay it down, get your trusty sponge, and just sponge like this. And you just want to go over it, but you can see underneath how pretty that pattern is. You can use that on another card. So you can see where the inspiration just flows when you're playing. So now I'm giving it a bit of a rub, okay, so that it gets more intense. I do find that monochromatic color schemes work very well for vintage. Now, you wouldn't have thought maybe to use the blueberry bushel for a vintage card, but I was inspired by Molly, but also I had already thought about this because it would make Delft Blue, which is famous Dutch pottery, is blue and white and flowers often. So, okay, so here's my doily. Now we're ready to put it together. Now the blue ribbon, I just kind of lay this on here to get a placement idea. And then here is the blue ribbon. And I'll just measure it so that it's a little bit wider than the card. And then another important thing, see how I have ribbon tied around my scissors? It's very important to have ribbon scissors because cardstock dulls your scissors. So nothing more frustrating than trying to cut ribbon and it kind of gets all frayed. So this is a good spot for it. So I can put this down. Also, the pearlized part doesn't stick so well, so just put a little adhesive right on your cardstock. No one will know. Okay, and then lay it down, kind of eyeball it. That looks good. Okay, and then we're going to put some tape on the back of the card, and that is so that I can wrap my ribbon around. Okay, so, and then just, you don't even have to look at the other side. There, see? And then what I did was I took this and I popped it up because the ribbon is a little bit raised, okay? So that has to be popped. But first, we're going to take tear and tape. Because of this ribbon is a little thicker, I want to take the tear and tape and just go right across it, form a little bit of a bridge. The tear and tape is also our strongest adhesive right now. It's a bit of a nuisance that you have to pull off that extra little bit, but it's worth it for the sturdiness. Okay, and the fact that it tears so nicely. You don't have to measure or cut. It's very earthy. And if there's an extra piece, just fold it over. You know, I'm not used to doing a whole card for you guys. I'm finding like, oh my goodness, this is taking so long and you have to see all these little bits. However, bear with me. Okay, so now we can put it on that blue piece full of holes that you're not going to see. Take the top two corners and line them up first, and then the rest goes down, okay? There we go. Then, cardstock in half. I always score my cards, okay? And then now I can use snail because it's just an even piece, okay? And maybe a little bit in the middle. All right, and again, we do the corner thing. Top two corners, if they're good, the rest will follow. Okay, so now you can see how this is going to pan out. I'm just looking, I'm quickly scanning my table to see if I have dimensionals anywhere near. Oh, I do. Okay, so see this massive sheet of dimensionals? That came with Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is awesome, and sometimes it has even better value in certain months. And this month with all those dimensionals was pretty awesome. That was a few months ago. So I put 3 in here. I want it nice and sturdy. And there we go. And then I'm overlapping it a little bit because I don't want the full piece of ribbon to be showing. All right, so now we have our, did I show you what I used for that? It's the 1 3/8 inch scallop punch. We still have that. It first came out in the occasions. All right. There we go. And that's just going on flat. And I kind of want to imitate the circle in the doily right there so that it fits well. And then my butterflies. All right, I do have a secret for the butterflies, okay? Now, you could fussy cut these, Definitely worth doing, but I didn't. I have a brother scan and cut that I indulged in a few months ago, and I love it. So give the butterfly a little fold so that his wings are popping up, and then a glue dot, just a glue dot along the spine. And then odd numbers, okay, people? You don't want to do 2 butterflies or 4 butterflies. You want to do 3 or 5. That is artistically pleasing. Same thing with flower arranging. So those little tricks, even if you don't consider yourself to be all that artistic, will make your cards look better. There. Now you could add a few little seed pearls. You could add some Wink of Stella on the butterflies if you like, but I'm rather happy with this card. So I hope you found this little mini tutorial helpful, and have a super day. I'm trying, oh yeah, here, I can show you the stamp set. It is right here. So it's really cool. This one goes with the punch in the tin. I use this lacy one for this card. And that's just the lace. It's the same layout of the card. It's just that lace stamped over and over, like 3 times to get 3 different shades of blue. So super simple. Now, this is a host set, which means you can only get it if you either place a $200 order, you can get it for free, or if you're in a if you host a workshop, place your own order or join a club. So I'm pretty happy, and club memberships are open now. I think I might even do a long distance club. So let me know if you're interested. With a long distance club, you order the stuff online. We can have a virtual hostess, and I will send you all the pieces to make the card, and I'll also do a video so that you will know how to do it. I'm pretty excited about that. These ideas just come to me in the middle of my videos. I hadn't thought about it any earlier. All right, this is a super long video, people. I'm sorry, but you asked for it. Have a great day. Bye.